Now, I'm going to take you to the World Economic Forum, their own website. They have a section on smart cities. So the smart cities are the way to get all of our problems under control, because their plan is to force everybody into cities and leave the land alone. Remember, they have to, by 2030, and Biden's already done this, he's going to preserve 30% of all land in America. No humans will be on it. By 2050, it's 50% of all land. So where do the people go? The people all have to go into cities, but they'll be smart cities. Now, I want you to go to the World Economic Forum's website, and I want you to look this up for yourself, because you will not believe what I'm about to tell you. But it's there currently in black and white. So you decide who's the conspiracy theorist and who is actually lying to you. Now, you're going to love this. You're going to love this. You go to the World Economic Forum, you look up their smart cities, and you're going to see what is planned for you. Now, they have all kinds of partners all over the world. One of them is the Arab Group, ARUP, the Arab Group. They have their own section on the WEF website, okay? They're a progressive group that got together in Britain right after World War II, and they were like, hey, we can do a lot of things. You know, these Fabian socialists, they got a lot of great ideas. Why don't we start building things and building a community of tomorrow? So very progressive-minded, and they want to be a source and a force for peace and social betterment, which I look for in a construction company, don't you? I mean, I'm like, yeah, but how? I mean, how is it with earthquakes and stuff? Social betterment. Did we say social betterment? Okay, so from the World Economic Forum, let's put page 40 up. There it is. Now, I love this. Now, this is a whole section on, look, we've got some pretty big goals to hit, and we got to hit them. So how do we build these smart cities, and what do we need people to do by 2030? Now, they have some pretty aggressive goals, and some of them are up there. And they look, I mean, if you're watching Blaze TV, you'll see them up from the website itself. But let me give it to you just in case you're not watching, because, gosh darn it, these stats are a little sticky. So food. They need to reduce the emissions of food by 2030. So their target by 2030 is you will only have 16 kilograms of meat per year. Now, their aggressive target for 2030 is that you have 0 kilograms of meat. I'm telling you what they're doing to the farmers and the ranchers, what the 4 big food processors are doing. They're driving them out of business, so you can't have any local ranchers growing meat because they're getting rid of meat. Listen to Klaus Schwab, who says by 2030, meat will be for the rich and very wealthy for special occasions only. You with that? Again, on their own website, 16 kilograms, that's all you can have of meat. Right now, the dairy consumption, milk or derivative equivalent, so cheeses and everything else, they're hoping that you will only have 90 kilograms of that, but their aggressive, ambitious target for 2030 is 0. Now, remember, they need you to live like we lived in the pandemic, except without the nice stuff that you might have had, like cheese and milk and meat in the pandemic. you'll be required to only have 2,500 calories a day. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think I could live on 2,500 calories a day. I really don't like the fact, maybe it's because I've studied so much about the Holocaust and, when governments and institutions start regulating calories, makes me think of the Holocaust a little bit, but maybe that's just me. Now, when it comes to clothing is a problem, okay? We have too many clothes and I've watched television. I don't think we have enough clothes. So their progressive target for 2030 is that people will only be allowed to have 8 new clothing items per person per year. But they really are shooting for 3. So, comrade, you could have a new shirt, a new pair of pants, and maybe some socks. Merry Christmas. We'll begin to go, oh, they got socks for Christmas. Thank you. No big deal there. On private transportation, their goal is, now, I don't even know the number. They don't include this in here. How many vehicles per 1,000 people? What do you think per 1,000 people? How many vehicles do we currently have, do you think? 500?
Yeah, some of them are kids. Yeah. But I don't know if you're thinking it's got to be at least 500.
At least 500. They want to reduce that by 2030 to 190 cars per 1,000 people. And their ambitious target is 0 cars per 1,000 people. Oh, by the way, and your 20-year car, the car that should last you about 20 years, they want it to last now 50 years.